Hi guys, this is Mike. In this Cinema 4D tutorial, I'm going to show you how to include lines into your 3D renders. A lot of times when showing your work online or in your portfolio, you want to be able to show the lines of your 3D work of your models. It gives an art director and a creative director a little bit idea of how you built your models. And it just shows how your topology is on your 3D models. So what we're going to be using Cel Render and a few different options in order to make your portfolios look a little bit better. When presenting your work online and in a portfolio, you want to be able to show the lines rendered with your 3D models. So how do you do that? How do you render out your model with the lines already on your geometry? Well, in order to do that, first, what you want to do is you want to go to NB on your keyboard and to see the lines. And you can see all the lines within your geometry for your model. And I have subdivision surface on. You can turn that off and you can see more of a you can really do this two ways. You can have it with the subdivision surface on and without. Without, you can see a little bit better of the geometry that was used to make this model. So in order to render this out with the lines, as you can see when I render now, you just have a basic rendering, just as you would for your portfolio, but it does not have the lines on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close this out and stop the render. And I'm going to go up to the render settings and I want to go to effect. And then I want to go to Cel Render. And you're going to have a few different options here. If you just have edges checked and outline, what you're going to have is, and I'll render this out again. You can see it's a very flat look, and that's one of the cool things that you can do with the Cel Render is give a 3D model a flat kind of look if that's the aesthetic that you're looking for, that the design and style that you're trying to go for. But what we want to do is we want to show within a 3D with the shadows and the lighting and the reflections. And I'm just going to stop this render. And even though that it looks good, we still want it to have all the shadows and reflections. So in order to do that, you'll have to check this checkbox which has color. Now let me render. Now as you can see all the lines and all the colors and the shading and the whole style that you have with your model. And you can see the reflections, you can see the shadows down here, and you can see how your model was built a lot better. And it's very helpful for an art director or a creative director to see your work, not only the pretty renders, which is great, but also he or she can see how the model was built. If there is, and let me zoom in here. And what you can do is, a lot of times you can't really tell in a render if it's one piece or not. So in this it's multiple pieces, and I'm just going to render this out a little bit, and you can see what is connected and what's not connected, and that'll help your art director or creative director to see whether or not this was built as one piece or if it was built from multiple pieces. It just gives that person a better idea of how your modeling is and how your modeling skills are at your point right now. So I think it's very important to include this along with a clean render without the lines, and then a render with the lines. So I'm just going to let this finish out. And as you can see, there's some intersecting here. An art director would be able to see if there's any just bad geometry, if there's n-gons, if there is triangles, are there quads, are there long elongated polygons like they are right here and here. So these are all factors. How many polygons were used? I mean, is it for maybe for gaming and you have too many polygons, a little bit too much resolution. So this is all very important information that you want to include in your portfolios.